And welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls, joined by Ms. Phyllis Peoples, the CEO of Terrebonne General Health Systems. There you see her, and tell you what, it's almost becoming like a State of the Union kind of address. You give us updates, and kind of been so impressed at the progress and the speed. But bring us up to speed, because I know you still have some work to do, but you're in a much better place than a couple of months ago.
We are an amazing place, and yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been a couple months.
Yeah.
Some days it seems real quick, some days a little longer.
Yeah.
But it's really only been, oh gosh, what is it, 7-8 weeks since the storm, and we are up, we're running, we're providing all of our array of services, and we're excited about that. All of our staff are back, to the ones that could come back.
Right.
But we are real excited to be able to be here for the community.
Doesn't it almost feel surreal at times? I mean, sometimes I come in the studio and I go, man, what we've just been through, and none of us have ever really been through this. But I can imagine with a health system and all the intricate parts, and we were talking about the roof off camera, and you explaining that to me. But it's just a lot to do with a hospital setting, is there?
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. You know, on the 18th, well, we had made the plan from when we got hit by the hurricane, and hopefully a lot of people saw our journey. We tried to document the journey, not so much to say, look what we've accomplished, but really actually look what we've accomplished for my staff. And for people, because each week we would challenge them very, very strongly on what we needed to get up to provide to the community. So we had somebody document the week. So I met with them, at least my directors. As a administrative team, we met almost daily, pretty much. And then we'd meet with our directors at least twice a week, so they knew every Tuesday they were going to see some kind of video, because you don't know what goes on in other people's spaces, on what indeed we had accomplished for the week before. And it would energize them so much to keep working just as diligently, because their commitment's strong, and to be able to do for our community. And it helped the community see what all the services we're bringing up. There were only so many of us to be able to talk about it or interview, but this allowed our community to see we're open, we're ready, we're good, come on over.
You know, and Phyllis, to be honest, when I was out there, of course, when people don't have water, I mean, we love water. Everybody's got to have their water. Got to drink it, got to have a bath, got to have everything. When we don't have electricity, it's the next sector. But when people found out we're going to be without a hospital for a while, without a medical center, they got really worried. The community is Terrebonne General involved, isn't it?
You know what, Martin, I think that this has been an awful situation for everyone, for our community, for just our region, for everybody who was impacted, personally, professionally, just everywhere. But I think more so it made us recognize the need that healthcare provides, because to rebuild or to go to school or to go to work, to have that security if something happens, people recognize, myself included, and that was what drove us so hard, is that without a hospital or access to care that's close, that you have confidence in, that you need to be there, people really got a little bit unsettled, and our employees and our docs and ourselves, and that's what drove a lot of us trying to get up as fast as possible. I mean, your ability to access healthcare either ensued a very long wait or a lot of travel. And so we really tried each week to bring up as many services as we could that were safe in the environment we were in.
You said the key word, close. If you know your medical facility is close and you have a hiccup in your health, you can get there pretty quickly. But if you know you have to travel, that's more anxiety for you.
Well, sure, people would have to travel to New Orleans or Baton Rouge or, you know, actually to Thibodeau, but again, unfortunately, the weight on that particular organization was heavy, because a lot of hospitals here were unavailable to be able to provide the kind of care that you needed to on the acuity level you needed to.
Right.
You still had COVID. We still had restrictions. You had people who needed surgery. You had people who needed cardiac interventions. We had oncology patients. You know, people forget we had babies that were coming. You know, they don't wait for, you know, we'll wait till you're open. You know, so we really were moved to try and get a lot of that open. And I have to say, in a 30-day period, which was my commitment to myself and my employees, we got up all the services except for inpatient, even to the degree of having a 24-hour stay. We were doing that in 30 days. Now,
Yeah.
we opened inpatient for unlimited care, when I say unlimited, on the 18th. And when we opened the doors, I have to tell you, ambulances were coming and surgeries were robust and people were coming in, and we thought we'd hold our breath for a little while, but it only took till the end of the day or the next day where we were getting pretty packed pretty quick.
It seems tough to say you're glad when you see ambulances coming and all that. We don't mean this in any disrespect, but it's good to see that things are getting back to normal anyway.
Well, the ambulances still came, but
Yeah.
they recognized that if it required something that was an intervention or some type of procedure or something that would be a more than a short stay, we would have to transfer them out.
Right.
So it's comforting to know that now, when the ambulances come, we're able to keep you and we're going to admit you. And our hospitalist group, you know, Dr. Sutton and all, Dr. Loriona,
Right.
they all back smiling on the floors, along with many of our other physicians who are back at work.
Before we get to some of the good things, and you mentioned babies, I don't want to bring the picture up yet. We're going to save it, but let's do the flu shot and the COVID booster information first. You want to talk about flu first?
Sure, it's still flu season. It's upon us. And last year we didn't have so much of one, but you still have to take precautions, and we are offering the flu vaccine. So you can come through and look at that, and we do encourage anybody to take their flu shot. Now, we don't have, let's see, do you have, if you can go and find the flu shot, whether it's through us or through somebody else, go ahead and take your flu vaccine. And you need to also get your COVID vaccine. We are getting a lot of calls about the booster and who's eligible. That's going to be open to everyone. Right now it's for people immunosuppressed or a certain age group or certain health conditions. But you can get both of them at the same time.
You were telling me before the show, so same day, boom, boom?
Same day, boom, boom.
Right.
Now, I have to say, I think there are some limitations on the flu shot, so I'm not sure that we have the flu shot that we're able to offer generally to the public, but definitely the vaccine. We got to do our healthcare workers first.
Right.
But you can offer one arm and the other. So some people had out there that if you took one shot, you had to wait a certain period of time to take the other. You don't. You
Okay.
don't. That was originally, but now if you want to get both of them, it'll be, of course, different arms. They're not going to give it to you mixed together,
Right.
as you so recommended, Martin.
Make a cocktail.
Yeah. Yeah,
It doesn't work like that, does it?
No,
Oh.
we're going to go ahead and do it different. It just makes it a better situation. But we still advocate again precautions. I know the governor lifted the mask mandate as of today, and that's awesome in a lot of areas. But in healthcare facilities, they're still required. And people wonder, why do I come in the hospital and I have to wear it? And, you know, but in the public, I don't, or the grocery store, because we have the most compromised patients. You know, people who come to the hospital, they don't come to visit. They usually get admitted and they have some kind of medical condition.
Right.
That would make them a little more susceptible.
Yeah.
So we still have to, you know, honor that through the CDC.
Right, no doubt. Well, let's morph into, we got several pictures, but I saw something that in the history of HTV, 37, 38 years, I've only seen a few times, and that's a picture of 3 born at the same time, triplets.
That's not as uncommon as you think now.
Really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we were in Ida, and we opened our OB services. I think it was on week 3. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit dated on some things.
Yeah.
I get confused. But we had a set of triplets, and right after we opened, I think it was a week or so after we were providing services, and no problems, no hiccups, but 3 wonderful, wonderful, beautiful babies. And all the mothers were wonderfully excited. Since since we opened, which has only been, you know, 4 or 5 weeks again, we've already delivered, I don't want to misquote, so I will, somewhere between 180 and 150 babies already. That's what I
Really?
said. So, yeah, people kind of hung tight, but once we were able to get that service going,
Literally speaking.
they went ahead, and we've been delivering. Our labor and delivery staff and our OBGYNs are amazing. Our NICU services are extraordinarily active already. That's our little neonates, and people are very, very excited to be back and stay home for their care.
Can you imagine that somebody has a few extra bills because of Ida already, and then triplets?
That seems to worry you, Mark.
It does.
That
Yeah,
seems
we
to
do
worry
have
you.
twins in our family down the line. It skips a generation from what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's bring up some more pictures, Jay, if we can, and let Miss Peoples talk about them. Great shot.
There's a wonderful shot as we got all of our employees back, and we were excited, and they're excited. The halls are filled, and the chatter's back, and all of the activity, and people are glad to be back and excited. And what you just said, being part of the hospital, the organization, and doing what they're trained to do. Everybody kind of met in the lobby, and we put it in our video, but they all wanted to say we're back, we're proud, we're good, and it was nice. In that mix, you'll see employees, you'll see physicians, you'll see our nursing staff, our clinical areas, our non-clinical, the organization as a whole. I always tell them, Terrebonne General is not about the bricks and mortar. It's about the people in it. That's who makes us who we are.
But I know your sense of humor, so I could imagine when that group got together, they were feeling like, hey, at least we're getting back into what we do. I imagine had some jovial moments in that.
We did. While we waited for the picture, we did the wave, we sang songs. They said, I don't think so. They weren't that excited to be back.
All right, let's roll in some more pictures, Jay. We'll let Phyllis bring us through them.
There's our surgeons coming back. Many of you know Dr. Hayden LaFay, and he's urology. And we were able to open up our OR, and they got to schedule those particular cases that were a little longer. Again, some of our surgery team, along with Dr. Rob Alexander. Everybody's just, as you can see, genuinely excited to say we're back, we're good, we're working in a great environment, and people are just very strong and happy. Very much so.
And it's good, especially that shot of Dr. LaFay. He's genuinely smiling because, I think we all took it for granted that we're going to work forever and go to work every day. And when that's taken away from you, when you get it back, of course, I've seen you throughout COVID and the hospital here all the time, and we work all the time. But for a lot of people who lose their facility, when they get it back, they're pretty happy.
I think people were, when you get hit by COVID and then you get hit by a hurricane of the devastation that we had, people are looking for something in their life for normalcy. And, we were kind of indicated that our hospital would be down quite a long time as people saw the damage and the things that happened. And when we said 30 days, my staff later came up to me and said, we thought you were crazy, but we weren't going to say that out loud. And 30 days we were here. But again, we weren't perfect. Of course we weren't perfect, and we still are working on some things like everybody is at their home. Are we functional? Are we good? Would you recognize what's going on? You don't see some of those construction things behind the scenes, but overall it got our patients and our community engaged, and it got our staff back, and the pride strong.
I got to be honest, when you told me 30 days, I didn't think you were crazy. I said if she said 30 days, she's going to try to get it in 30 days. I know you too well, and that's certainly a testament to what y'all have done. Y'all had a great plan. Let's start setting up the video, because in the last 350, Jay? 330? So when we get to 330, I'm going to roll a video in. Set it up. What are we going to see in this next video?
Well, as I said, the videos kind of came about just because we really, we've got a wonderful marketing group and a graphic group within our organization. And as they were able to get some of those pictures and they weren't here, a lot of people didn't go through the hurricane with us, our own staff. So it gave them a taste of this where we started. And so that when they did come in, they said, oh my goodness, what can we do to help? You don't know. So then that kind of became our challenge or our motto, is every week we'll see what our progress is. This is, I think, one of our last and final at this point, because we got everybody back. It was the end of our 30-day window, and it's those people just coming back and extraordinarily happy that our services are open, inpatients open, we're ready to roll. And so I think they captured some of that. It's more about the people within the building, the excitement.
All right, we're going to do this. Jay, any more pictures? Did we get them all? We got all the pictures. So what I want to do is we're going to set up this next video and close out our program. I want to First of all, thank Ms. Peoples for coming back on and give our weekly State of the Union address at Terrebonne General Health System, and keep up the great work. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for all the support of the community and the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I want to do a shout out not only to our staff, but our medical staff, our political leaders. They have been awesome. Our community leaders. I can't say enough. We didn't do it alone. We did it with a whole lot of help, and I want to thank them too.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So we'll roll in that video now and let you see Terrebonne General Health System and see our community hospital and how it's doing. And with about 30 seconds left, that's a great video.
It is. Now,
Yeah.
I just want to make one comment. That was through October 1, so we did a lot, and so now we've got inpatient. So where it says everybody's back and everything's open, so we may have one more to show all of that,
Yeah.
but it's a great video. It's a
Yeah.
great video.
Thank you for sharing that with us. With that said, we'll take a short break. We have a lot more on Bayou Time, continuing to go down in the communities to show you what people are going through and as they progress. We'll be back with more.